All right, around here we do Go For It. I'm with Leslie Plattner and I'm Ralph Havens on our podcast. And it's all about healing, healing beyond limits. And today we were talking ahead of time about is time running out? Leslie and I are we're still young, but in ages where some people would say, oh wow, you're up there. But is time running out? And my sister used to ask me, why do you work so hard, Ralph? And I think time is kind of like a thing. I want to do what I want to do and get things done. And I've always been around about healing. And so Leslie and I have a thought about the podcast, but I'm going to read something that she said before we got on, and then go from there, because she has some interesting thoughts around water, and we have interesting thoughts around healing and spirit. So we were thinking, what are we all about? And you might resonate with this: to heal and trust. So if you have a dream and it's in alignment with you, it can happen. That's what we've seen. And what would it be like to meet life with all its obstacles with grace and still stay powerful, still be empowered to meet life with this kind of optimism and joy, and instead of being depressed and feeling alone. So Leslie, we've found a lot of different things for healing, and some can be very quick, and others can be a process. And you've had homeopathy, and we both had matrix energetics and integrated manual therapy and this peace process and instant miracle and the ancient techniques from India and your faith and my faith and Qigong. And we're looking for healing. So what's your thoughts on people getting healthy, whether they're dealing with a chronic condition of some sort or whatever, a life challenge, to get on their own surfboard, to take their own wave? Like, we talked about children and how children play. And so I'd love your thoughts on healing and what we're up to with this and how it can help people.
Yeah. Well, I think something that's coming to me these days for myself is really to be more playful. It doesn't have to be so hard and serious and such a struggle. And I've really learned to trust that life is for me. So when those obstacles come up, like we have goals, we have things we want to do, and for some reason it feels like they're not happening, or it's taking forever, or we get sick with something, or somebody does something to us, whatever, we lose all our money, whatever it might be, is to really get out of that resistance, that place of resistance that really slows us down. When we don't want to feel something, when we don't want to experience it, and we don't trust that it's really for our good, then we just kind of spin our wheels and we're not happy. And so I think that's one of the main things that I have learned myself and try to help my clients with is, okay, this is happening. How am I resisting it? How am I putting on the brakes and not allowing myself to receive the message or the healing or the advancement that comes with tests and trials and problems? That's one thing. And for me, because the oldest kid and whatever, and being the oldest girl, just the sense of responsibility and struggle and strife, and like I'm finally learning it can be more playful. And you were talking about water, so I was watching. I wrote her name down, Pam Gregory, her podcast with a lady named Veda Austin, who does work beyond what Dr. Emoto did about water. And she's been working with these autistic kids who seem like they communicate on a nonverbal level. And they have people who speak for them, who are telepathic too, who can put things into words. And it's really fascinating. But the thing about water, that we are whatever percent water that we are. And the idea that water, the essence of that water is love. And so we are like these, and I know that might sound really airy fairy, but that's what motivates the whole universe, And there's a quote, and I know it could sound airy fairy, but one of these boys said, water is the expression of the creator's first love. It's a being that the creator never wants to separate from. Therefore, it is in every being. It is love. And so for me, somehow, knowing that and trying to become aware that life is really for me has been huge. At my essence, at my core, that's what I am. That's what my relationship with everything and everyone in the world is. And there's something about that that allows a deeper breath or relaxation. It even brings tears to my eyes. Like I am supported. I'm here for a purpose. I have these things that might seem really difficult, like it took me 5 years to get well from Lyme disease, and that was a struggle. And I almost died, from that and a spider bite. But somehow this sense of grace and being held and how the doors will open, if we're truly sincerely making efforts, we will be guided to the right doctor, the right treatment, the right therapy, the right knowledge, and the right work, the right person. Like there's something about that that just makes me feel so much happier these days, rather than struggling and trying to do everything on my own and I have to be in charge of it. There's some place where I've been opening up more to what is it, and I always say it in our group, our Atomic Success Secret, what is it that wants to come through? What is it? If I can get in alignment with that, things just flow. Even if
Yeah.
it's difficult, even if things are hard, like you really will be directed in the right way. So that's what I'm feeling. And we talked about the things that we believe, the fears we have, like for us getting older, like, is time running out? Will I ever do what I really wanted to do? Is there more I can do? If we're meant to, we will.
Yeah. And it's like, that really speaks to me because I had that 2-year time when I couldn't run and had terrible pain and bone pain and started to get some severe depression about just everything and my kidneys, and I wasn't able to walk for more than 10 minutes at a time. And it's like, why did that take so long to find what the cause was and the remedy? But once I found it, within 3 days, I was back to running. And then it spurred this movement to the Pacific Northwest and to meet you and to do these things that we do. And so the key definitely is to find what it is your body's protecting you from, where's the information. And so one of my thoughts as well, my prayer is to be guided and to be able to see the guidance and then to be able to use it. And for some reason, you and I, our thing is to help people heal and to get their life back and to do what they want to do. And sometimes it can be a physical technique, a hands-on technique. Sometimes it can be homeopathic, like the stuff you use. Sometimes it can be an energetic phenomenon, or that can happen in a blink of an eye, the matrix energetics. Sometimes it's a process of hands body work. And so that's, I think, our message today, that there's a reason stuff is the way it is. And if you've got a problem, some sort of physical condition, some sort of inner angst, some sort of thing, anxiety even, there's a way to go find what is that. That's how is that useful, and how are you being guided, and to find your answer. And one of the things that can happen with us, it's happened over and over again. People message us and then come and join us in our Atomic Success Seekers group, is they just hang out with me and Leslie and they feel something, and something changes. A shoulder gets better, a neck gets better. Yeah. And yet it's also sometimes very important and cool to like put hands on and help people fix up stuff. So, you're in California, I'm in Washington State, but so basically we're just here to say there is hope. We're examples of that. I'll put the links to connect up with us. And you might want to just notice, are you different even from being on this podcast? And that sounds kind of crazy, because a lot of the stuff we do can take a little time and a little hands-on work even, and a certain remedy. But if you need help, let us know. LesliePlattner.com and RalphHavens.com, and I'll put the links below. And that's I think that's our message for today, huh?
Yes, and really, I'm sure I heard somebody who's older than I am, she's in her late 70s, saying, when you turn 70, it's really fun because you've been through so many things in your life that you really have more comfort. Like you've gotten through them and you've been able to look back and say, well, that's the benefit of that. And you can really help
It's
people
true.
so many different physical, mental, emotional, spiritual places where they're stuck. And I love helping people notice that when they just let themselves be with what is, their energy it just opens up, and there all the possibilities. And like I said, that even just being able to take a deeper breath and then find the right doctor, the right therapy, the right book, the right person, or even if it's me helping them, it just, things open up. And I know that happens with you, Ralph. Like, people are just amazed when they work with you, like, whoa,
Yeah, it's about finding
the whole world can open up.
cause. Well, thank you for that. And so I'll put links below, and we're all about healing. And so we've got all sorts of ways to do it. Right now, we're just talking about to notice what you notice and notice what's different from being with us. And then reach out to us if you have a pain or a problem, a condition, something that's just not improving. And we can hopefully guide you to what we see that could be
Yeah.
in the way of your healing. So thank you, Leslie. I will post our links in just a second. And let me just click everything off here.